I didn't put an intro to this video, and neither am I reading from a script for this video. That's how fucking pissed off I am about this whole fucking anime ending. Here's why I think this fucking anime ending is fucking trash. It's hella inconsistent with the fucking characters. There's a bunch of plot holes in it. There's at least, 10 to 15 plot holes in there, if I count it right. Because I mentioned some of those plot holes on my Instagram story. And it don't make sense. It just doesn't. What the... Okay. I'm just gonna get to the point of why I'm even making these videos. Keep in mind that I am doing this without a script. I'm gonna mention 3 plot holes, and y'all can probably dig out the rest, or probably even find the rest if you rewatch the whole thing, and then look at the ending, because the ending is so trash. Oh my god. So, plot hole number 1. I thought Ackerman couldn't have their memories manipulated by the founding titan. But apparently, Mikasa can. And she's an Ackerman. And apparently Levi did as well, even though he's an Ackerman as well. That doesn't make sense. Second plot hole. What even happened to the hallucinogenic? Where did it go? And to be honest, I haven't rewatched that ending. But I heard some people saying the hallucinogenic was behind John and Connie in the anime. I have not read the manga. I don't read manga. To be honest, I didn't even know Attack on Titan had a manga until season 4 even started. So I don't even want to hear that pulling for the manga stuff. I didn't read the manga. I figured out about the ending after season 4 started. I don't know. All I'm asking is, where did the hallucinogenic go? While, or maybe even after the rumbling ended, apparently. Third plot hole. When the fuck did Ymir and Cane Fritz, when did Ymir ever love Cane Fritz? That's a whole other plot hole to begin with. And I looked at both perspectives. It just doesn't... I get it, but at the same time, it doesn't make sense. I understand some of the perspectives on it, but then it's like, okay, this doesn't make sense due to certain things that Isayama has put in the manga and the anime beforehand. That it just doesn't make sense for the ending. And let me give you an extra. How did Mikasa free Ymir? What was the point of Eren hugging Ymir and telling her she is not a slave, she's not a god, she's free, or whatever, she's just human? What was even the point of that past scene if that wasn't to free Ymir? But apparently, Mikasa freed Ymir by whatever the heck that whole thing was. That doesn't make sense either. I'm not even gonna go into the whole thing. You know what? My advice is go back to season 1. Watch the anime from season 1 because there is no filler in there. Watch the anime from season 1 all the way to season 4. And you tell me the plot hole that you catch. Because there's a bunch of them that the ending has created. And if you don't see it, I don't know what to tell you. I just don't. And I'm just gonna go ahead and do what I'm about to do. Because explain what the title I gave this video of, and just bear with me. Now I'm about to get to the backlog of this whole thing of the fanfic that I wrote back in 2022. And Shoot, I am now on my phone because I have the whole backlog written down. Because for God's sake, this fanfic way better than the trash we got. Hence the title of this video. Okay. Alright. So basically, back in 2022, after season 4 part 2 ended, I decided at that moment that I was going to write this fanfic. I never planned it beforehand, but I decided at that moment I was going to write this fanfic because I saw the ending. I saw it spoiled. People were spoiling the ending on Twitter, on Reddit, maybe even on Instagram. I don't remember. But I saw it. I got pissed off. I was like, what the fuck? It just didn't make sense to me. And, I mean, to be honest, the whole thing would have made sense had he did things to make it lead up to what it led up to. And I'm sorry if you hear that outside, it is windy. Had he did everything that he was supposed to do to make it line up to what we were given, none of us would have had a problem with this. But nah, this man wanted to create a whole story, which is the whole story of Attack on Titan is good until the rumbling start. Or maybe after Ymir gives Eren her power. That is when it starts to become trash. Because, why? What is all this alliance and everybody teaming up with the same people who literally just tried to kill you not even 36 hours ago? Who does that? And I don't want to hear that Avengers crap and whatever fucking shit y'all got going on. Because I'm telling you, it just doesn't make sense. Everything after that path sequence is trash. It is so trash and it does not make any sense. I'm telling you, why would you team up with the same people who tried to kill you not even 36 hours ago? I'm pretty sure their mindsets have not changed. They still hate y'all. Y'all are aliens. What? Oh, okay. Alright. I am not gonna try to get wound up. Let me get into this fanfic. So I rewrote this fanfic. I wrote this fanfic. I rewrote season 4 of Attack on Titan using mermaids, magic, and even Greek mythology in the slightest. And it is better than the trash we got. So, I'm going to start with chapter 1. And I'm going to do 3 chapters each video. Because there's 9 chapters. And it only makes sense to put them all in just 3 videos instead of just doing 9 individually. So, first of all, this fanfic starts with 3 mermaids. Marie, Annalise, and Alice. And this first part in my backlog isn't really useful, but it's actually really good backstory to it. Okay. Alice and Annalise are technically Marlian. They're not Eldian. But the full-blooded mermaids do not have mermaids like Marie is. But they don't have tridents. Marie has a trident. Because she's magic. So, and also Marie is a semi-mer, and she's Eldian due to her dad being half Eldian, because he's a semi-mer as well. His dad was Eldian, her grandmother, his mother, was a full-blooded mermaid. So, second point, and if you read the fanfic, good. If you haven't read the fanfic, I'm telling you it right now. Okay, so, second point. Maria knocks Eren's big ass down. / energy ties, because that's gonna be important for later. So, Saria the Queen of Oceania sent Marie out there to meet up with Aaron in the first place. So first of all, Marie was supposed to meet Aaron early on, but didn't because there were Titans on the island. First of all, Saria was not about to let them use Marie as a slave to kill them Titans. That wasn't about to happen. So, she told them to go back to the ocean after Marie was born, just so she either wouldn't get killed, wouldn't be used as a slave. We're gonna figure out what's gonna happen 17 years from now. And 17 years from now, Marie bumps into Aaron. And Marie was forced to use her intuition because nobody was telling her anything. She didn't know anything. She didn't know what Aaron looked like. Nobody told her anything, so we just told her, go find Aaron. She didn't know that was Aaron. And also, the way she knocked him down. See, that is a hint that mermaids are way stronger than humans and acumen. Because mermaids are half gods. They're technically demigods, to be honest. The sentence of Poseidon. I literally wrote that down. Of course. If you wonder how she even knocked him down so easily, and he buff is whatever and 6 foot, girl 5'3", and chubby. So she bumps into him, and he glances at her, not because he's angry, but because he recognizes her from that premonition that he had after kissing Astoria's hand. She looks at him because she thinks he's angry. Also, he thinks she's a mullion. That's why he kind of stared at her. So, she stares back at him because he caught her off guard, first of all. She did not expect to freaking knock him down, and she did not expect him to really be looking at her the way he did. And his eye color kind of scared her. So, yeah, and she expected him to be angry at her. So that kind of freaked her out, and she couldn't use her intuition to figure out that was him. Because the intuition of mermaids works different on land than it does in the ocean. Because animals are way simpler and purposeful than humans are. Humans are complex. Human energy will cloud a mermaid's energy because humans are complex. They got way different goals and purposes than anything, and it's just like... And then you got different... what is it called? Not purposes, but they got, like, different, like, goals and stuff. And you never know who's good, who's evil. It's just... Humans are complex, animals are more simpler and purposeful. And the mermaid intuition works better with animals than humans. Okay, so this is chapter 1. And if you don't want to watch this video, you don't want to listen to me go on about this, read the fanfic. But I suggest you listen to this as you're reading the fanfic, just to get where I am going with this. So now I'm on chapter 2. And chapter 2 is when Marie is with Annalise at the hospital because Annalise's father was a soldier. He was at Fort Slava and he's injured or whatever. But he's actually a full-blooded mermaid, so he can actually heal himself. He's actually pretending to be injured because he can't heal himself while there's humans around. Mermaids hide from humans. They can't use their magic around humans. Because humans are crazy. Humans have different goals and whatever stuff in mind that, shoot, they'll do anything evil to anything. Shoot, there's people out there that's evil to kids and animals. So you get where I'm going with this one. But, okay. So he is pretending to be mortally wounded. Because mermaids and semi-mermaids can easily heal themselves using water, but they cannot reveal that around humans. So while the aliens, while Paradise and Molly got their own situation going on, the mermaids got their own plan and objective going on involving Molly and Eldia. And the mermaids took Paradise side a long time, like years ago. A long time ago before any of them was even there. And that was immediately after they figured out Paradise was the elephant in the room and everybody was going against them. That is why the mermaids mainly stay on Paradise and Liberia and Molly. Whenever I do the graphic depiction of that, I will do the beginning before I get to this part. So, also, back then, the mermaids decided to reproduce with aliens on Paradise and not Molly or anywhere else, just Paradise. Because they had a plan. They knew what the future was. They got access to the future as well. It ain't just the aliens, it ain't just the people in paths. They psychics too. They got access to the future as well, and they knew what was going to happen. So, point 2. We're leaving to go to the bathroom and approaching it. Okay, so here's where I am actually... So, there's certain parts in this fanfic that I did not write down. I just went straight to some other point. Marie did not go to the bathroom to handle human business, if you know what I mean. Marie went to talk to her little companion, which is Seafoam, her leafy sea dragon. And Foam told her that Aaron was somewhere nearby. She didn't know. But she couldn't use her intuition correctly due to being surrounded by human energy, complex human energy. And when she goes back, and she heads back to the room that Annalise and her dad is in, she finds Aaron. She doesn't know it's him, but she recognizes him from knocking him down. So, and she walked into his room just to apologize to him. Keep in mind that's important for the ending bit of this chapter. So, this is when her intuition started going haywire because she's not sure whether that's Aaron or not. She's not sure whether that was what Foam was talking about or not. And as they're talking, she's trying to pick out what she feels. She's using her intuition to figure out whether Aaron is lying to her or he's being truthful, in which... In the fanfic, it is written down that she knows that he is lying about certain things. And Aaron is trying to figure out whether he should trust her or not. Because he's seeing in that vision, premonition, that she was there. But he's not sure whether she's against him or on his side. So, they're both skeptical of each other. And Marie grows more skeptical because suddenly he knows her name, even though she never told him anything. She never told him her whole name. Her whole damn name. Well, Elizabeth is not her last name. Elizabeth is her middle name. Mermaids go by the first and middle name, not the last name. But somehow he knows that. And she never told him it. Well, I think she did say that her name was Marie, but didn't say Elizabeth. And how does he know that? Exactly. So, okay. So, she tries to leave. Okay, so this is when Aaron is like, okay, now I know that she's not here for some underhanded shit. No. And catches Maria. Even though he's still skeptical, he catches her. And he knows that she's not talking to him with an ulterior motive. The girl just simply apologized to him, talked to him, and wanted to leave. No strings attached. So, mentioning the premonition again, he asked her for help. Because he's seen her under premonition, he knows she is most likely on his side, she is more likely to help him. Why would she be in the premonition if she's not on his side? And she's also a powerful addition to his plan because that girl is overpowered. I mean, I gotta explain how she's overpowered, and it's for a reason. But that girl's way overpowered. And, also, what I meant by when he said, I know what you are, he didn't mean he knows she's a mermaid. He meant he knows she's a magician. She's good at magic. She's a magic person. He knows that, but he didn't know that she was a mermaid. Shoot, they didn't even think mermaids even existed. But they do. In this timeline, at least. So, that last part of chapter 2, if you read it, you know what I'm talking about. If you didn't read it, just go past it. Because I did not mean to make chapter 2 end like that. And I don't think I'm going to change it because it actually makes sense. It makes sense. So, here's my explanation. You can obtain the powers of a magic mermaid, or any mermaid, whatever power they got, because it's not just magic. They all got different talents and different purposes. You can obtain the power of either sex or magic. Either through sex or magic. So either way, the power is going to you when you're the focus. She did it wrong. And she was meant to do the magic, not the other shit. And that is why she ended up energetically bonding herself to him. Because she did the sex part and the magic part eventually later on, which she was only supposed to do the magic part and not the end. So, she basically created an unbreakable energetic tie to him. And this is where the symbiotic relationship comes in, because you'll see later what I mean. I will say it when it comes up. But I promise y'all it ain't romance. If you look at chapter 2, just go past it without even thinking anything of it. It is not romance. It ain't meant to be romance. I'm not thinking about romance. Don't even go there. So, also in this chapter, she has an ocular migraine. And this also has a reason. So, this ocular migraine was her connection to Heron, actually. So when she touched him, she grabbed his shoulder, she felt his mixture of depression, the chaos, and the helplessness of him when she touched his shoulder, mainly his hair. She touched his hair, a little bit of it. And it hurt her. So, even though this wasn't really mentioned until later, he had a premonition of the whole thing. He had a premonition of the future, and she had dreams of the future throughout her life. And this is actually mentioned later on when the rumbling starts, or maybe, was it the next chapter? I think it was the next chapter, or it was the rumbling when it started. She mentioned it, but this whole thing that joining the premonition and stuff has to do with her grandmother. and her grandmother was Elizabeth Marina. So her psychic grandmother and other psychic mermaids, they knew about Marie and Aaron being in contact with each other in the future. It wasn't exactly a direct contact to paths, kind of. Maybe the elder mermaids kind of knew it, but they knew about them two being in contact in the future and going through with the Rumbler. And before they was even born, I'm telling y'all, they saw the future. Like, way before anybody was even born. And after this fucking end chapter, and I don't even want to say it because it's so weird to me because people think it's romance, and it's just like, what the fuck? Read this shit. You'll see it. But you'll notice Marie's migraines increase the more power she gives to Aaron. The more of her power she gives to him, the more her migraines increase. You'll see it later. Because I put a bunch of it in the fanfic. And especially when he uses his power in his Titan form, he is draining her. He is basically sucking the energy out of her, using the energy she gave him, and which is like 50%, half of the energy she has. He was basically sucking all the energy out of her, especially during that battle before the rumbling. But I am going to go to chapter 3 because as this fanfic goes on, stuff starts making more and more sense. So, chapter 3. So, this chapter is basically self-explanatory. This is when Aaron attacks Marley, and Marie, minding her fucking business, runs to the forest after hearing Aaron change his Titan form and basically destroy the place where Willie Tyber was giving his speech. Thank God, because they deserved it. Then she climbs up on a building, and figures out it was Aaron that she was talking to. Because she listened to the Warhammer Titan. If you read that chapter, you'll understand. So, and this is when I didn't write this down. I didn't write it because I really wanted this fanfic to be short, and I wanted to get to the point, and I didn't want to. But whenever I do the graphic depiction of this is when the perspective switched from Marie to the mermaids in the Survey Corps, Ophelia, Sirius, and Meridel, which they show up in chapter 7. This is when the perspectives end up switching. So, Sirius and Ophelia, they're twins. Even though they look kind of different from each other, they're twins. And Meridel is a friend of them, and they're full-blooded mermaids. And they have tridents. And they're like a few years older than all of them, but not quite close to the ages of Levi and Hanji. So they maybe late 20s, maybe, I'm thinking late 20s. I haven't exactly given them a direct age, but late 20s. So they're also more experienced ODM gears than Levi and Hanji. Because their dad and Mariner's mom taught them how to use the gear before they even got into training with the Survey Corps. Their mom, Mariner's mom, and their dad are Survey Corps members. And they knew how to use the ODM gear, and they teach other mermaids how to use ODM gear. That's why mermaids enter into the cadet corps training, and they excel at it better than the people who are just starting, because they get trained by their own before they go out with the other people. And they using the gear since before they were even old enough to even join the Survey Corps. So that's another thing. So there's mermaids in the whole damn military imperative. Like, they're in the Survey Corps, they're in the garrison regiment, they're in the military police. There's a lot of them in there. and people don't even know it. And they're very experienced with the gear and fighting titans. The thing is, they can't use magic, so they gotta learn how to do this stuff. And yep, they secretly train each other. And they hide their abilities because they can't reveal themselves to the human. And in this version, the mermaids beat the Ackermans in abilities, powers, and intuition. But they let the Ackermans have the spot because they can't show their powers. So, Sirius, Ophelia, Marinelle, they came in with Levi Squad, but they did not leave with them. Well, not exactly Levi Squad, but they came in with the Survey Corps, but they didn't leave with them. So, after they spotted Marie climbing the pipe, because they saw that, they went to cover for her. She didn't know it, but they went to cover for her, and the mermaids basically avoid fatalities, because a lot of them, usually they have more than a few psychics in whatever group they're in, and the psychics usually tell them the future and what it's like about to go on or something. That's how they mainly avoid fatalities. Or they just don't go on any, journey with the Survey Corps. Because, a lot of people die and they over there fighting titans and stuff. They can't use magic. What you gonna do? So they went to cover Marie after they found her climbing the pipe. And they couldn't save or help any of the other human comrades because they were on a time limit, first of all. They had to go in with the Survey Corps and Levi Squad, but then leave without them. So, shortly after Aaron defeated the Warhammer Titan, they fled the area. Them three, Sirius, Marinelle, Ophelia, they left. They didn't go with them, they straight up just left. And they followed Marie's light blue energy tracks, which is her footprint, because the water, her feet was wet when she ran through that forest. They saw her energy because only mermaids can see each other's energies and humans can't see that. So, whether it's free-flowing or it's contained, you'll see that later because Marie saw it. It was in Marie's perspective. What was it? Chapter 7. A lot of things are explained from Chapter 7. So, they thought Marie was going to be behind them. They thought Marie was going to come back and go back into the ocean, but no. Sirius pointed up, and the girl was on the boat going to Paradise. If you're in Chapter 3, you'll see it. But, they were all basically headed back to Paradise. And them three had to ask Saria about what to do next and to strut out of the ODM gear to swim back to Paradise so they wouldn't be noticed by the other Survey Corps members and the jaegerists because they didn't want to be labeled as traitors. Even though they're on neither side, they got their own objective. You know how humans are when it comes to whose side you on. So, they got back to Paradise, they swam, they got back to Paradise, they talked to Saria, and then they switched from the Alliance side to the Jaeger side, but not because they agree with anybody's objective or anything. They got their own objective going on. The only reason they switched was just to watch out for Marie and Aaron, and because Saria is also a psychic and she told them what was going on, what was about to happen, whose side to switch to when this thing happened. They knew it. They already knew what was about to happen, what was going to happen. Shoot, it's whatever. And after this is Chapter 4, and that is going to be a separate video along with the other 2 chapters after Chapter 4.